Okay, Philip, Paradise Cummings here with a video review of a mix of a song entitled 2 Grams. It's a poetry piece, better known as the form of soul interpretation by Lawrence Christopher. So, basically, going into this, these are minimal tracks, so it's kind of bare, what do you call it, bare bones in terms of production. Track wise, we had a drum kit, we had vocals, we had a bass, we had a 2 MIDI patches, a pad, synth pad, and a harp, and another one that was kind of like a guitar slash drum beat kind of thing that was complementing the drum kit. So when I went into, obviously I was given notes by the artist, and the key thing in this song is the voice. Of course, it's poetry, so that's important. He basically, with his style, he has nuanced or characterized voices. So one of them is a very low pitched tone, the other one is a high pitched tone, so there was like pitch shifting that I did for 2 characters basically to go along with the main character, if that's what you want to call it. So I knew that was going to be the first priority. The second priority would be the drums, and then from there it was really just about getting a good blend of everything else, as far as the bass line and the other instruments. So some pretty good representation of the frequencies, some high frequencies, some mid frequency, low frequency, of course. So I'm going to play it and show you a few things that I did. Hello. Go ahead and play. Here we go. Alright, so on the vocals, grouped them together. It's a duplicate vocal, so kind of fader wise set one a little lower than the other. Put some compression on them. These expander gate, I didn't even use that. EQ, I'll show you what I did here. Articulation at 2.5 hertz. Took off the high end. I think I mentioned before, but you hear his voice. He has a pretty good low tone to his voice anyway, so I figured just take these high frequency off of it, take a little of the low frequency off, and then give him some articulation. Well, the other thing was, he wanted his voice to really be kind of dry and fit in the mix by his instructions. Reference Janet Jackson's song "Got Till It's Gone," which is a good representation of like how a vocal just sounds really dry and just comfortably laying within the mix of the other tracks, rather than having all that reverb or that we typically hear, because that was a kind of different sound for Janet Jackson on that song. Her voice was very dry, so he used that as a reference. So I was trying to do that. That's what I went for. So those settings were put on both vocal tracks. I don't know why I did this. Why did I bypass that? Oh, but yeah, this has been recorded already. You're listening to the mix, so I don't think I had it bypassed when I recorded it. And there you hear, if you can hear that, the high-pitched sound, and then there on the hook you hear the lower pitch Alright, so that's what I did with the vocals. And how I did that, actually went into, I don't want to run out of space on this recording.
Our love has been the inspiration for all timeless tales.
Basically, there's two. One of them is called Divine. That's the lower pitch. Pimpzilla is the higher pitch. Again, very creative, abstract mind of Lawrence Christopher. What I did was duplicated his lead voice, put him on 2 different tracks, and the one that's supposed to be lower pitched, it's only on the hooks, so you see them right there. This is where they are. There's a hook. That's where it is on the hook. These are all hooks right here. It's almost over. So, and I use elastic audio. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Elastic properties. I took it down. Probably can't read that. 4 semitones down. So that's a -4. The other ones, I did 4 semitones up. So it's a +4. And that's basically how I achieve those. Very, very simple and effective technique. Let me go back. Then on the drums, I really didn't do anything all that. I mean, the only thing I really had to do was compress them on the drums. It's kind of a straightforward drum track, no use of overheads. If you remember from my blog journal or whatever, we didn't even mic overheads. He had his hi-hat, he didn't even use the ride cymbal. So it's his hi-hat, kick and snare, so it's pretty simple. This song, I spent about 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours on this, though, because I was working with the vocal, because that was a different experience working with a vocal where you're not putting a reverb on it and trying to compress it, EQ it so that it's there but not too much there and all that stuff, and fader levels and things like that.